So Destiny 2 Edge of Fate came out, and just right off the bat, I want to say that it's kind of mid. The story is good, the characters are good, and they did something that I wanted them to do for a very long time, and that is to get us invested in the other characters that are in the Destiny 2 universe. So they tried that with Zavala. It didn't really work out, in my opinion. I felt like had a they had a story about him and his family and how it all worked out and how things were happening before he was a guardian or after he was a guardian. The story is a bit rinse and repeat for like 2 seasons of talking about him and his family. So we got backstory on Zavala, and we had a lot of investment into Cade, but the way that they handled Cade was a bit different. Again, I'll go into that a little later, but them doubling down on one of the last members of the Vanguard that we really care about, Ikora Ray. And she has been revoice cast, so I want to say there was a whole voice actor strike thing going on, so they just recast her. Um, in my opinion, I don't think anyone cares that Ikora Ray got recast. That as long as the story of Destiny 2 keeps going on. Now, when it comes to the expansion, the whole Matter Spark, the Matter Weave, all those skills in the event, like Kepler itself. Kepler itself is it was supposed to be, in my opinion, it was supposed to be like the Pale Heart. But the Pale Heart was active. It was active at all times. There were things going in. It felt like a lived in world. But when it came to Kepler, I don't know if I just said Kepler twice. So the Pale Heart was lived in. Kepler was supposed to be again lived in. But you have this, I want the world to feel alive. And we have a lot of inhabitants that aren't really, they aren't confrontational. They aren't really within the world. It's Neo Muna 2.0. We have a bunch of people there that don't really do nothing, and we interact with just a few of those. So the overall way that the story was handled was good. It's just that the live-in environment, the place where we're supposed to spend a lot of time at, just really doesn't seem like you want to spend that much time there. You do have to go through all the hoops and all the rigmarole for Kepler. You have to get the Matter Weave. You got to get the Matter Spark 2. You got to get the Matter Morph. You got to get the Relocator. You have to go replay an area, revisit that area back, redo this area again in order to achieve like full explorability with it. And the Matter Ball, the Matter Spark isn't the big issue. It's not the game changer. So, what do I mean by that? It wasn't like we received the Matter Spark and every subclass got a version of Matter Spark for a associated element. So if the Void Hunter could have some in like it the Matter Spark like mattered for us in a way that was tangible that we could use it elsewhere, not just Matter Spark all around the universe. Not like that, not in a way, but if we had an exotic that turned the sliding dash of the Warlock into Matter Spark for like a second or two in order to initiate that into the gameplay, or the Hunter turned into a Void version of Matter Spark, or the Titan turned into a Solar version of Matter Spark. Something with the key core elements, which I really think are like identified towards the new classes, because I want to say the Void Hunter came later for the Hunter, the Hammer Titan came later for the Titan, and Arc came later for the Warlock. And if Matter Spark had a tangible influence on the way that our character used it in an exotic form, or for some reason, or even something crazy like we get a new exotic and it's able to, I don't know, take a person on your fire team and turn them into Matter Spark and shoot them somewhere. something crazy, something that actually moved the needle for Matter Spark or Mattermorph to happen. So Mattermorph clearly worked with Strand. It could have been a deeper understanding of Strand. They could have linked it all back together with our primary Guardian functions, combat, and it wasn't the thing that I thought it was going to be. It was everything I thought Bungie was going to deliver, which was they didn't oversell it. So they don't like over delivering. They don't want that. So they've broken up an expansion into two expansions. So we have Edge of Fate now, then we have Renegades later, we have Ash and Iron, we have all these extra little doodads, little add-ons, right? But for most people, it feels like the Edge of Fate is already over. At least that's how I felt when it came to the Edge of Fate. Now that I'm getting closer to the end of the game, without really going back into the portal, because the portal is reused content. It's the same content that we've been doing. It's just delivered differently. And the only thing that's going to be of excitement is what most of the older Destiny players that have probably given up the game has said, that I've beaten all the raids, so what do I do now? I've gotten all the raid gear, so what do I do now? I mean, rechase armor, so most of the armor became null and void. A lot of it don't work. Like, a lot of it don't really... If you get double 100s, you're not really doing nothing. Double 100s is the base now. That's the standard you should be at for what you're trying to lean into. And going into double or triple 100s with older armor, it just ain't the business. You're going to have people that has on a 4-piece set of Avion, I think that's what it's called, and they're going to get a sprint speed booster. They're going to get the little benefits that come with that. They're going to be getting their class ability and their grenades back faster depending on what they build into. Your older armor just really isn't going to cut it. And the raid armor, I feel like there should be a way to convert the raid armor over into something else, because now we're just replaying all these raids to get tier armor. So it's kind of like a rechase to rechase. So I don't even know how they're going to tackle that. Again, if we talk about Edge of Fate in its totality, not a lot happened. A lot of things went into the ether. A lot of things just went into nothingness. There's no real reason to keep a lot of older guns. If you have premium god rolls of things, like if you got a good rose, it can be enhanced. It is still good. So rose is good. But if you, for some reason, like the LeBrock C, I think that's what it's called, or something like, nothing comes to mind, a Nightshade that didn't fall into the category of it being enhanced, you can't really do nothing with it. So it's eventually got to go to the ether. It's got to go away. Because, yeah, you could keep it, but if you're not playing PvP, then you're really holding yourself back in PvE. Hold on to an older gun that's going to be power crept by something that can be enhanced, that can be influenced, that can be minorly tweaked and upgraded. So, again, that may be a whole nother conversation for another time. But Edge of Fate overall is mid. And the delivery of the extra content in the game and in the overall direction that they went in with Kepler, I don't know if it was... I think it landed exactly how they wanted to, mid. I think it landed with solidifying a player base to bring them back in line with, I hope the casuals like it, and I hope the sweats stick around, because Kepler is just the beginning to a replay this thing type of deal. The biggest example before the end of the video, is you have things like Warframe, and then they have the missions, go free the prisoner, collect these pylons, collect these energies, destroy these enemies, protect this drill, eliminate all enemies in this area. Same content reused across hundreds of planets in the Warframe universe. The First Ascendant, Kill these enemies, they're mobbing you. Kill these enemies in a different way, they're mobbing you. Kill these enemies that are mobbing you with shields. You need to shoot your gun sometimes. We need to get you to shoot your gun. And that was Destiny's problem. They needed a reason, they needed to find a way to get you to shoot your gun. So they did. So now, casuals, hopefully you like it. Sweats, hopefully you stick around for the better gear, the better teardrops. And if you've already sweated and got some hard gear and some adept gear, they're already tier 4, close to tier 5 good loot. Because it can be enhanced, it can be it could be enhanced, and it can be enhanced further like they want. And I don't think that they put any resonant harmonizers either. So again, they're not giving stuff away for free anymore. You got to go play the game. And a lot of people aren't going to like that. But some of us, like myself, they're going to love it because you got to play the game now. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.